Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Bert's here, going through the first season playthrough of F1 Manager 2024 with jeangirardracing as team principal Ricky Bobby. We got round of 15, the Dutch GP at Circuit Zandvoort coming up next. We did really well last time out in Spa. Danny coming home with a P3. Let's go, boy. Unfortunately, Oscar crashed out, so we've got some work to do on his car. And let's swap out the chassis. We've got one extra, we've got one extra in the warehouse now from the new chassis. Front wing, swap out. We should have plenty of extra. Yeah, we got 3 in the warehouse, so now we have 2 extra front wings. Rear wing, we should have, nice, we got 1 in the warehouse, so we put, oh, that's very unfortunate. We just put the brand new rear wing on Oscar's car at Spa, and it totally got thrashed. So that's unfortunate, but nonetheless, we'll keep on cruising. So now we got about 1. We don't have any new underfloors, but we have quite a way until Zandvoort, and I do want to design a new underfloor. However, we don't have any ATR points until after Monza, it looks like. So I think for the time being, let's see, design underfloor. Yeah, we don't have any ATR points to use, and obviously just kind of doing it this way is still going to be beneficial, but having the ability to add points to that is going to give us a significant boost to the design of that part. So we'll wait on that. In the meantime, I suppose, actually, how's the powertrain doing? So a gearbox got pretty shredded, so let's put this one on. And an engine is doing okay still, so we'll use this for practice and then maybe switch over to this one for the race. We'll try to cycle between these 3 as much as possible and save this engine until the absolute last moment. Probably similarly with the ERS, we can maybe get 1 more actual race out of this unit. Probably not a whole weekend's worth without risking, you know, having a fault. So that's gonna unfortunately put us in a tricky spot, because we're gonna have to spend some money, and we don't want to spend some money. And we did go in debt previously, but that's all right. We're fine now. We are out of debt, so as long as we can prevent doing that again, I think we'll be okay. Previous race results last time out and Spa, and our affiliate driver Lauren Ware taking the P2 spot for the F3 race, so nice work. And Ollie Behrman scouting complete. He's enthusiastic. He doesn't have a long contract left, so that's maybe somebody to keep an eye on. A very high development rate, and he's got a high aggression level. So Ollie Behrman, somebody to keep an eye on and potentially snag. And we know we've got the underfloor that we need. We're gonna have to manufacture 1 for sure, unfortunately, because we're not gonna be able to get a new one designed how we want and manufactured before the next race, unfortunately. So let's just make 1 of these. Go ahead and confirm that. Go back to calendar, and it looks like we're gonna have to reset our sponsor plan. So let's go ahead and choose a couple here. On race days, engagement scales with the driver's marketability. So the performance rating drops off during the race weekends, it looks like. Head of aero, 10 school. Engagement scales, team marketability. So that's not a bad one. After each race, answering fan questions. His mentality decreases a bit. The design center. facility effectiveness. We don't want to do that. Team's marketability. I mean, honestly, none of these we really want to do. I guess the factory, which is okay because we can afford to have the I mean, as long as we're not really producing many car parts, I think this should be okay. Non-race appearance, skips training to complete sponsor appearances. That's fine with Danny because, I mean, realistically, he's not developing at as high of a rate as Oscar is, so just leave that. VIP activity. Race engineers will be made available for mid-session interviews. Interesting. I don't know how I like that, actually. Sporting director talk. Sporting director will give talk to VIP sponsors. Staff performance rating. So I don't hate that either. And let's try to do one more. Potentially. Scouting unavailable. That's fine. We'll do this one, actually. Cool. You don't want to push too much. There we go. Yeah, we don't want to push too much. And I think that should be good. Go ahead and confirm that. We'll get another $2.76 million payout at the end of that. And we know we're missing the underfloor still, but we'll hit continue and just skip ahead as fast as we can and jump into the Dutch GP. Let's take a look at monthly car development report. Our engine cooling could be improved. Looks like we're 13th on the grid, but we do need to improve our high and medium speed cornering. The rear wing did help us quite a bit with the top speed and DRS effectiveness. However, we still got to keep pushing that as best as possible. Got the new rear wing manufactured, easy peasy. Uh-oh, it does not look like Danny and his race engineer are having a good time. He has some tension. That's actually why they're not getting along. It can have an impact on the driver mentality and on-track performance. So thanks for letting us know. So if we acknowledge Danny's mentality is going to go down, but his aggression is going to improve, and their affinity might go down. If we intervene, their affinity is going to go down. The tensions potentially are going to improve or worsen. Yeah, so let's just hit acknowledge here. Make Danny a little bit more aggressive for a little bit. And let's check out our affiliate drivers updates and improvements. And it looks like Lauren is improving rather strongly. Making some huge improvements here. And our boy Florence making some improvements as well. And our regular drivers, Danny is decreasing, unfortunately, and Oscar is making some moves. So Danny should be in a good mentality state after that last race, however. But here we go. McLaren's got a interesting new side pod. One of the best on the grid. And they're working on a new front wing. And spotlight on RB. Yeah, they've been crushing it recently. 7th in the drivers. But, I mean, Yuki has been making some strong moves past few races. I will say. Go back to calendar, skip ahead, and looks like we got to reset our pit crews. So we got a long time before Zandvoort. So let's see. I don't know if we want to do balanced approach. I want to do more of a pit stop time approach, so we can reduce the pit stop time as much as possible. Alright, so we'll be tired if we do that. Car building, fatigue reduction. So let's start with this one, I suppose, the balanced approach. And let's play around with some of these days here. Let's make this a full gym training day. Let's make this a gym training half day. So that is going to increase our fatigue. So let's actually leave that. Let's make this a gym training day. Make this a gym training day potentially. So we're gonna be tired for sure. But we are decreasing the estimated pit stop time, which is what we want to do. Let's change this to pit stop drill. Jacks potentially. There we go. And we're gonna be a little bit tired, but we will still reduce our overall pit stop time. Let's take a rest day here. There we go. Tired, yeah. Let's take a rest day here. Yep. All right, rest day there. I think that's pretty solid. I like that. We're gonna make some improvements while not obviously decreasing anything, and we'll be well rested, and we're gonna make some improvements here with our estimated pit stop time. So let's go ahead and confirm that. Alrighty, let's go back to calendar and hit continue. We should get the underfloor on right now, so there we go. Let's hit continue. Go to check. Let's go ahead and install that onto Oscar's car. And there we go. So now both cars are now set up for the next race. However, okay, so I think we'll be in okay shape. Let's actually put this one on and try to save this 41% unit for the race itself. Alrighty. Alright, I think that should be good. And hit calendar, skip ahead. There looks like there's nothing going on between now and Zandvoort, so everyone just chill. Pit crew, doing some training, trying to make some improvements. Got to decrease our overall pit stop times. And it looks like we got a prompt here. And staff survey results. Oscar is slightly unhappy with the car performance, as is everybody else except for Danny. And the underfloor is in low stock. Yes, we know, but that's alright because we're going to design a new one as soon as we get finished at Monza. And Florence making an improvement. And Morit also making an improvement. And we haven't heard back about Danny's tension with her, so hopefully they got that all figured out. But here we go. We're jumping into the Dutch GP. I believe this should be a two-stopper if I recall. Yes. And it looks like it's going to be warm with a high chance of rain. So heavy rain potentially all weekend. Downforce circuit. It's well suited to low medium speed performance. So we should be pretty solid outing this time out. So you can kind of see our current overall ranking. So people have made some improvements, it looks like. We have definitely got to decrease or improve our cornering speeds as best as possible. The underfloor will definitely help out with that, as well as this, everything really helps out with that, but we need to get that new design going as soon as possible. Let's go ahead and choose our race targets and jump into the session. I don't think this will be a sprint weekend. I think this is just a normal weekend. So that'll be nice. 3 practice sessions, normal qualifyings, and then race day on Sunday. Beautiful circuit, tucked right up against the beach in some sand dunes. And every year this race comes into town, this city gets overrun with spectators. Very interesting to see. But here we go. Let's see how we can perform at the historic track of Zandvoort. So it looks like we're going to have clear skies most of the weekend until the race, which is very unfortunate because we're going to be getting the car set up in dry weather conditions, but the race will be rainy. So that's going to throw a curveball into the plans. If we can qualify really high, I think Oscar does really well in the rain, so it might give us an opportunity to make some positions up or potentially get Oscar a podium. But I'll go ahead and get these practice sessions knocked out off camera, and I'll bring you back when we jump into quali. Welcome back, everyone. Got practice all finished up. I'm jumping into quali now. Did pretty well for practice. Got them pretty close to 100% on the car setup. It was very difficult. I was trying to play around with a few things here and there, and I just could not quite get past 97 with Oscar, and similarly could not quite get past 96 with Danny. I've already got the best units we have available minus the brand new ones on each of our drivers' cars, and we're ready to jump into quali. Let's go ahead and simulate this to the race. Gonna be dry running for quali. It was dry all practice. It was nice. But let's see where we land for the race, and it's gonna be a wet one. And we can already see it is wet indeed. Most likely gonna be wet tire the whole time, I'm assuming. It did say heavy rain. We'll see how much water is actually accumulated on the track, which luckily the new game shows us that amount now. So we can make a more improved decision on what tire to start on, whether that be the intermediate or the wet tire. It looks like the team's already got the full wets on, so we'll see what the strategy call is when we jump in. And yeah, it looks like 4.3 millimeters, so wet weather tires. And Oscar taking a grid penalty. That's not good. I wonder what we got that from. So sad to see. Sad to see. So that's gonna put Oscar in the P13 slot, and Danny's in P10. So probably one of our worst starts for sure. And it looks like it's really hard to tell kind of the rain pattern here, but it does look like it's gonna lighten up around lap 30 and then get heavier again towards the end. So we'll keep an eye on this, maybe bring this back a little earlier if need be. And obviously this is going to save us a hell of a lot of time, but we're starting wet, so no reason to start on a dry tire. That would be shooting ourselves in the foot. And it looks like Oscar Strat is going to stay on the inter the whole rest of the way. So we'll start here and let's just see what happens. We'll see how the race plays out. Let's go ahead and get them pushing on both the battery and the tires, and most likely on the fuel. The drivers are not pushing as hard just naturally during wet weather races, so they tend to gain back quite a bit of fuel. So we got to keep an eye on that and burn it as we get it. So we are keeping the absolute minimum weight in the car possible throughout the whole race. And look at us, Danny boy, getting ready. Got a Mercedes right behind us there. I wonder if there's another Mercedes in front of us, but the great equalizer with the rain. So gonna be an interesting race. Let's see what happens here. 5 red lights. Let them drop. Let us race. Here we go. Here we go. Let's be aggressive here.
Just use the chance now.
Yeah, use all of our chances. And
Okay, understood.
So staying pretty strong so far. Let's see what some of the other drivers are on. Everyone's on the wets. And it looks like Russell gonna squeeze us out there, unfortunately. Danny getting pushed away by Georgia boy. The chopper came here.
Track okay?
Drying out. There's a lot of spray.
Drying out. Well, let's check the track conditions. So it's going to be up and down the whole race until about this time when the inters are called upon. But I don't know. I mean, that looks like some heavy rain for most of it. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. P11, P13, we may not get points this time out. We may not get the points we need, unfortunately. We'll have to see how the cars do. Gonna bring the battery back down right about now. And settle into the race here. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up and see how far we can get without any incidents. got some wacky action happening out here. It is very tricky conditions. It keeps going back and forth between wet and damp. And when it goes damp and we're on the wet tire, we are just chewing through the tire. So I'm bringing Danny in now to pit for a set of inters. I'm bringing Oscar in next time, or this lap now. For inters, we'll be able to rock the inters for a little while. We can maybe go back onto the full wets at the end, but we'll see. We do not have a lot of tire life left in the wets that we have remaining. We only had 2 sets. We burned through that first set very, very quickly. Trying to beat out the middle part of the storm there. And we might want to just stay on this set of enters for the rest of the race, even though it's going to be wet here towards the end. I think we just want to stay on the enters for the rest of the race here. And we've lost a few positions. Stroll is on the wet still, so he's been going back and forth. He's going to be burning up his tire. And we got both Mercedes quite a ways in front of us. Juan Manuel is having a hell of a time out there. He keeps spinning and crashing, and he's just fighting himself out there. There we go. Let's go ahead and start pushing it back up. Juan Manuel locking up again.
Virtual safety car.
And we got a VSC, full VSC. Let's hit pause here.
Delta positive, recharge on.
And we should have
Copy.
space to go to a brand new set. So let's do a brand new set, I think. Who's behind us? Who noticed? 13 seconds. Okay, so we should be able to, I think we can afford to do this with both of our boys here. Danny's gonna be first. Oscar is right behind him. So gonna be a double stack for the team. Gonna be tricky.
Understood.
But I think we can do it. And Danny's gonna stop here soon. Let's get a fast one here, team.
Copy.
Fast stop here, fast stop here. Long pit lane. Come on, Yuki's coming. He's coming. Let's get back out there. Nice stop for Danny. Perfect timing. 2.5 for Danny and 2.5 for Oscar. Well done, team. But Yuki's gonna beat us out. Maybe? Can we get Yuki? Oh, doesn't look like it. Oof, so close, so close. But we are on a brand new set. A little bit of a risk. I don't think we had too much to lose there since we are sitting outside the points, but we are now further away from Lance, which I guess is the worst part about it. But we are on a brand new set of tires.
Currently P13, I believe.
Oh, not the greatest weekend. That's definitely our worst weekend so far. Definitely the worst weekend so far, unfortunately.
19 laps to go, including this one.
But I think we'll be in okay shape. We'll be on the best tire. The conditions are going to get worse here soon. And we're going back to green flag conditions.
Okay, understood.
VSC ending, VSC ending. Alright, let's get after it, Danny. Yuki pushing away pretty quickly, but we are on a cold set of tires. We got the cold tires right now. We need to get them warmed up, and there we go. 15 laps to go. Gonna be a tricky ending here. The water is gonna get heavier on track just in a few moments. Looks like 3 minutes time. We're gonna get some more rain coming. 2 minutes now. 2 minutes to more rain. And fastest lap after fastest lap from these folks. What are 17? 19.2? Jeez. They are cooking out there. Let's maybe push attack from our side also. Let's try pushing attack here. Let's just see what happens. I mean, we've got nothing else to lose. Multiple crash, yellow flag. Who was that? Was that George and Russell, or Georgie Boy and Lewis there? It looks like both Mercedes getting into it. And George gonna try to get up the inside of Lewis, but Lewis is gonna close the door. George is not happy about that one. Not happy, and both Mercedes getting into it with each other, unfortunately. And Russell has damage. Russell has damage. Tires are hot. Tires are hot. Is that giving us any increase in our lap times, though? That's the real question. And Georgie boy gonna get the penalty for that one. And yeah, not truly helping us here. Let's bring this back down to aggressive. Rain hasn't quite picked up yet. It is creeping up pretty slowly. Still got 2 more minutes until the next wave of rain comes. Catching Yuki here. Very slowly. Go to standard, bring the temperatures back down a moment here. See if that helps us out. The rain is increasing now. Yellow flag, we got another crash. Hulkenberg. Is he crashing out there by himself? Sure looks like it. Down in P19, unfortunately. Gonna go a little bit too wide. Up on the bank's turn. And Yuki coming in to make that pit stop for the wet tires. Conditions are wet, but we have a 55% wet tire. I don't want to switch because we're going to give up track position now that we are in the points. Hamilton, where is he at? Hamilton's quite a ways back from us currently. About 8 seconds behind Oscar, so we only have 7 laps to go. So as long as he's not catching us a second per lap, which it looks like he might actually be doing, unfortunately, we are going to be sitting ducks. I have a feeling we're going to be sitting ducks because we got Charles coming through, which is going to push us out of the way, and now
Just had a snap.
oh no, Oscar, I just saw something happen over there. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's a crash actually. So what happened here? Valtteri is he gonna cause us to get another crash? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I think Oscar was trying to keep his position there and snapped a little bit. Snapped the back end out from underneath of him. And they're going to be everyone's on the wets except for us. I don't want to switch. But at this rate, I think we're going to be screwed.
I'd hope we would stay on the track there.
And Oscar ran wide. It's alright, brother. Just hang in there. Just hang in there. We got a little bit longer to go. Just a little bit longer. We're not, yeah. Hamilton's gonna come screaming past Danny, unfortunately, because Hamilton's on the wets and we're not. Yuki's also on the wets, but they're well used. I mean, I suppose we probably should have went back to the wet tire, huh? We're still in a point position with Danny. And Oscar, unfortunately, is out of the points. But as long as we can potentially hold up Yuki and George behind, we can keep that 10th slot with Danny, which would be excellent. And Yuki just gets around. We got 3 laps to go. 4 laps? Yeah, Yuki's right behind us now. Yuki's going to take that last point from us, unfortunately. We opted to stay on the Inter to not go on a very used set of wets. But I think just going back to the wets in general might have been the move. Oh, Lando's gonna come through. Who's that, Lando? Yeah. Oh, and that puts, yeah, yikes. That just puts us, that just gets us. Gosh dang it. And that just got us there. Lando coming through, unfortunately, pushed us back to the slots we don't want him to be in. So we're outside the points. This is our first race. I think we're gonna get both drivers outside the points, unfortunately. Sad days. We probably, you know, hindsight, of course, probably maybe should have went back to the wet tire. But, you know, it was really tricky to give up the track position. I guess Albon's quite a ways back to where we probably could have. But, you know, it is what it is. And that's what it is, you know? Sometimes things don't work out in your favor the best way possible, but we'll take what we can get. We'll take what we can get. That was a tough one. That was a tough one, indeed. Not the greatest result, but we brought both cars back. Did not have any damage, thankfully. Came back in one piece. And put this one behind us. We can put it behind us. And Red Bull look like they are just running away with the championship. Max has been crushing it in the game. Not so much in real life, though. Red Bull's got some work to do in real life to take McLaren, take the championship back from McLaren, but they got a tall order because really only one of their drivers is scoring points in real life. Most of the time. That's gonna do it for us this time, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging in there. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.